Hello, hello.
Hello.
Fancy you meet again.
Week 6. We haven't killed each other yet.
We haven't?
Almost.
I told you, if we ever film that behind the scenes shit, we got it made.
1925 After Dark, that's for sure. Welcome to the 1925 or to 1920 Giants podcast. My name is Tom Scavetta, joined alongside by George Bristol and Nick Godin. Fellas,
How you doing? How you doing, guys? What's up?
Shall we
What a
start?
week.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Tom, pure vodka?
Yes.
Gasoline? What are you drinking?
George gave it away. Just a little rum tonight.
A little rum? Nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
I think
about
your
you?
camera had some rum. Keeps freezing, buddy.
That snowstorm is killing me. Nick, what do you got?
What do I got? I'm having a vodka and tonic tonight. Is that okay, George?
It's all right.
It's all right. What do you got, buddy?
I have a Corona because I wish I was somewhere with a beach.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
Hell.
18, 20 inches of snow so far this way. So that should be interesting over the next couple of days. Folks, if you're new to the channel, we are 1925, the New York Giants podcast. Make sure to check out our Facebook page, our Instagram, which is same handle, and YouTube, a little different, 1925 podcast, Big Blue. And George, we have a very I've personally interviewed her once before. It's part of our previous show, but why don't you do the honors?
So tonight, 1925 proudly presents New York Giants fangirl, arguably one of the biggest New York Giants content creators in the space. Adrianna, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard.
So tell us a little about yourself for those who might not know. I doubt they don't, but go ahead.
So there's a lot of confusion about like where I live and everything like that. So I am originally from New Jersey, which is why I am a Giants fan. My grandfather was a season ticket holder. I grew up in North Jersey. I live in Connecticut now. So I've been a diehard Giants fan my whole life. I grew up with 3 brothers. My uncle went to the Super Bowl in Pasadena. Like I said, my grandfather was a season ticket holder. He used to take my mom, myself, my brothers, my cousins to the games, the whole thing. So I had moved to Connecticut in the end of 2020 during the Joe Judge, Dave Gettleman cluster. And, you know, I have a family group chat with my uncle, my brother, and my cousin, where basically all we do is talk about the Giants 24/7 and how much we hate them. And during that time period, I was like, well, I just moved to Connecticut. I don't know anyone. My husband is a Pats fan, so he doesn't give a shit about me complaining about the Giants all the time. So I was like, I need to figure out a way to meet local friends. It's like during COVID, everyone's in their houses. I'm like, there's got to be people around here who like want to talk about or watch the Giants together, like at a bar on a Sunday. But I didn't know anyone and I have a background in social media. So I was like, let me start here. I'll start with an Instagram. So I just created the page and started posting about the Giants. And then when free agency and the offseason came and, you know, Jordan is posting about this person's contract, but Dan Duggan is saying this and Art Stapleton is saying that, I'm like, why do I have to go to 17 different beat writers page, plus the Giants.com, plus Mike Garafolo, plus all these people to try to find like the one thing that I'm trying to look for? So I just was like, well, I'm going to make one page where it's all of it. And I have never really liked Twitter. So I was like, it's not going to be here. So I just did it on Instagram. And then I started posting all about contract updates and the draft and stuff like that. So kind of started with that. And now it's become a little bit more than that, but it's fun, even, you know, though the Giants suck. But I've met a lot of other Giants fans locally. I met a really great friend who lives in Stamford, and we've worked together on a lot of Giants stuff. We've gone to games together. So it's just been really great to be in an area where there's a lot of other Giants fans around, and I get to hang out with them and talk to them about, you know, we can commiserate together about this team.
Misery does love company.
Yes.
We love that. And we kind of do the same thing, you know? I mean, 6 years of this for me. George, you've been talking bad about this team for decades. Nick, I think we all have our hand in the pot a little bit. And oddly enough, first, you said your husband comes from a Patriots fan, John Suggs. Hello, how are you? Appreciate you very much. And that's one thing we love about our all different fans, mainly Giants, of course. But can you tell us what made you? I know you kind of touched upon it a little bit, but you have a couple YouTube channels. What made you decide to become a content creator specifically, and sort of like the evolution of these YouTube channels and how they're different?
So sometimes I regret it. I'm not going to lie there, but I started with Instagram because I was like, I have a background in social media. I know how to use the platform. Like I know how to do reels and stuff like that. So that was my first foray into it. And then when I started picking up steam there, Instagram allows a max of like 3-minute videos, and I would be recapping a game and I'm like, well, 90 seconds to 3 minutes is not enough for me to talk about everything that went wrong during this game, and then you're talking about the draft. And I just was like, I can't get all of this into one video. And at first I was like, do I need a podcast? Like everyone and their mother has a podcast. I already listened to 7 different Giants ones. Like, do I really need one? And then it just got to the point where I was like, I can't say the things that I want to say and get into the nitty gritty with this team on Instagram. Like I need to do it somewhere else. And I just felt like a podcast was the only platform that made sense. So I started it. It was called Everything New York Giants. I started there on YouTube and podcasting. And then I ended up signing with Believe a little over a year ago. So that's been great. I kind of changed the podcast name to Empire State Sports Report, which I'm probably going to make changes to again. But then I was doing well with that, and because I was growing on Instagram, I was starting to get to know some other Giants fans and other creators. And that's how I got set up with Giants Collective, which I do every Tuesday and Thursday with the entertainer Bad Dog and Anthony from Fireside Giants. And then I actually had found this company called Fan Arch. I found it on LinkedIn, and I just submitted an application and I interviewed with them and ended up getting picked. And that's a YouTube channel called Giants Latest, where I do 5 videos a week, Monday to Friday. And they're just 8 to 15-minute videos, kind of like talking about the Giants and whatever I want to talk about. So this week is the combine and free agents and stuff like that. But it's all been really fun because I love this team and I'm so passionate about them. And it's great to have these different types of avenues that I get to talk about all of it with. And I'm just waiting for the day for them to start winning. So it's more fun because it's fun, but it's also very frustrating and anger inducing. So I just want to get to the fun part at some point, which I started the podcast in 2022. So I've had one good year. Everything else has been awful. So it'll turn around at some point.
Wishful thinking. Did you ever think it would turn into this where you've got over 30,000 followers at this point? I mean, it kind of took off very quickly.
Yeah. I mean, my hope was that someday it would get there and I would be able to monetize it. But I kind of was like, you don't really know what to expect, right? And you just don't know how things are going. I've had my fair share of comments of people being like, you don't know what you're talking about and you got this wrong and this and that. And like, why would I listen to a woman and like stupid stuff like that? But the majority of the people that I DM with and comment with on a regular basis are very supportive, kind men who are like, I think you do a great job and I like what you have to say about the Giants. So I, again, because I have that background in social media, like I know the advantages of monetizing it. And I had a 9-to-5 in social media forever. And then I got laid off back in August. So since then I've been like, okay, well now I like really have to monetize this because I have bills to pay. So I'm trying to take it to the next level since then.
That's awesome. Are you drinking alcohol by any chance?
I'm not, because I'm doing dry February, which I wouldn't really I mean, it's not
That's
that
a smart
awful,
move. It's the shortest month.
Yes.
So
My
move.
husband was like, wanted to do it in January, but we had my dad's retirement party and we both had work trips and we were like, this is never going to work. So then he pushed it to February and I was like, shortest month. Okay, fine. We can do it. It'll be worth it.
So did your husband's doing this right now too?
Yeah. So basically it was his idea. And I was like, I'll do it in solidarity with you because I'm nice.
I ask. So he was sober during that shit show of a Super Bowl?
Yes, I got to tell you, that was very enjoyable for me. It really was.
Me too.
Everybody here.
I
I
love-
don't.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, fuck the Pats. Those poor guys. They had to wait 4 years before they had another chance of being good again. And unfortunately, they have the Eric Flowers of left tackles right now, which I was happy to see it. Will Campbell get demolished that day.
that tight
Yeah.
end was getting his ass whooped too.
They all
Yeah.
were. The only saving grace from that team was the corner.
Gonzalez had a great
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, he had a great game.
He was all
But with
over.
that being said, fuck the Pats.
Absolutely. So, what was the first post that got a real strong fan reaction? I know it might be tough to remember one, but do you remember, like, maybe if it wasn't a post, like a specific moment?
So I remember on TikTok, oh God, was it before? It was right when I think it was right when they hired Dable. I did this video and it was like 3 reasons to be excited about the Giants in the upcoming season. And it was like because they hired Dable, I don't even remember what the other reasons were. It might have been like some of the players that they drafted or something. There were like reasons why I was optimistic about that season. And then it blew up on TikTok because everyone was like, the Giants suck. You guys are going to suck. Like, you're an idiot. And I was like, what the hell? I think I gave some pretty good reasons to be optimistic. So that one didn't go. It was funny that it like blew up, but like not in a great way. And then on Instagram, I don't think any of my videos like really took off until I did one that was Thanksgiving, I think, of 2023 or 2024. I don't know how long it was ago at this point. I think it was 2024 maybe. And it was that trending video that was like we're Germans, like this is what we do, stuff like that. And I did one like we're Giants fans and this is what we do. And I took shots at Central Jersey because I'm from North Jersey and South Jersey sucks and Central Jersey is also sucks. So like no one gives a fuck about it. And then I was like talking about how the Giants are blue collar because they were going on this whole thing about how, you know, like we're blue collar and tough and whatever. Anyway, that blew up. And that was like the first video that I was like, oh shit, like I can like, I don't know how this happened, but like you can go viral on this app magically. Like now I see how other people have done it. So that helped. And that was able to kind of like get me, I think, a little bit more like exposure than I had prior to that.
So what would you say is the hardest part of being the content creator?
I think, I mean, part of it is the fact that the team is so bad. Like if the team won 8 games a year, I think it would be a lot easier to grow. But the team is so bad. Like for the last 2 years, 3 years, really, I have gotten DMs from other fans in October, and they're saying, I'm not watching Giants football for the rest of the year. I'm taking back my Sundays. I'm enjoying my weekend. And like, no disrespect to you, but I'm not going to care about the Giants for the rest of the year. And I'm like, I don't blame you. Like, I literally don't blame you. I'm psychotic, so I can't stop even if I wanted to. But if I had the ability to just be like, I don't care about the Giants and I'll do something else on Sunday, I would, because they've been so bad. So I think that's a really big part of it. And I just like, even if they were the Steelers, like, could you just imagine? And I know as podcasters, like you guys get it. Like if they just won games and had a chance at the playoffs, like the whole season is different. Everything about the season is different. You're excited to go to a game in November, December. I haven't been to a December game in years because I'm not paying to go to that. So it's just that I think is really tough. And that's one of the reasons why I consider talking about the Yankees, because I'm like, at least they don't suck every year. Like you have hope that the Yankees at the very least are going to go to the postseason and they're going to make a run. So people are invested.
Right.
They let us down too, though. They actually tease us
No.
a bit more. Yeah, I'm telling you, the Aaron Boone era is tough. Like we
I think
get
Aaron
so
Boone
close
is like,
and so far.
he's the worst manager, and I'm so pissed at them that they kept him.
He's got dirt on something. I'm telling you, he has dirt on somebody in that organization because he survives everything.
Yep.
Mhm.
The Mets don't have to worry about it because the Mets, I don't even know if they play. Do the Mets still play every week or they give them like time off? How's that work?
Hey, George, just remember you guys
It's like
fired
the weekends.
Girardi after an
Huh?
ALCS.
Yeah. Did Girardi win a championship?
Oh, not as bad as Boone.
Yeah.
Listen, I will not argue that Mets Yankees because I will always come out on the losing side of that, Nick, right?
Yeah, you don't have that going for you.
No one likes the Mets. Once you get out of Queens, it just gets worse.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Do you so Adrianna, do you ever hold back takes because of potential backlash? Like you seem to be more outspoken nowadays. Like, but sometimes in your head, are you ever thinking, maybe I shouldn't post this right now. Maybe I should wait a little bit. Something along those lines.
Yes. And now the gloves are off. I would say when I first started, I was really focused on being like, I was always make sure that I shared the facts from the reporters. So I'd always say like, Dan Duggan with the contract updates and stuff like that. But I wouldn't add a ton of my opinion because I was like, I'm just here to present people with information. And then I was doing so many videos that were like me as the person, as like the face of this, that I'm like, well, people are coming here. Like I'm getting asked, like, what do you think about this signing? Do you like this person? Like, what do you think of the coach? So then I started to do that. And I developed a relationship with some people in the Giants building. So then, you have that in the back of your head and you're like, well, I don't want to completely rip them to shreds, even though they only won 3 games this year, because like, I don't want the people that I know to like feel bad or whatever. And they're not stupid. Like they watch all the games, like they know, but it's still just like, you don't want to rub them the wrong way. And then in the last year or so, I've just have been like, I literally don't give a fuck. You are like, no one from the Giants pays me. I don't get special treatment. I don't have a press pass. They don't like allow me to interview anyone. So I'm just like, I don't care. And the Steve Tisch thing has sent me over the edge where I'm really like, I don't give a singular fuck about what anyone has to say. So it's a tough line to walk though. And I do feel for people who don't want to get involved in that and they don't want to speak on whatever the topic is, whether it's Tisch or something else. Like I fully get it. I have had a lot of times where I have felt like I don't want to have like that type of take. But now I just don't care. And I'm just going to be very honest about how I feel about things in the organization, how it's run, whatever. Because what are they going to do?
So that's actually a big part of our show. We wanted to have like the barroom feel, say what you want. No one pays us, obviously. And poor Singh, the Giants Singh, when we hit him with that Epstein question, I mean, nicest guy. He was just like, and then he did answer it, but he was like, holy shit. Because we don't give anybody the questions we're going to ask, so don't be scared. But, I mean, he was just like taken back from it. But we actually got DMs and comments about it. I love that you're talking about that stuff. You're not hiding from it. It's it's not all puppies and rainbows. Like a lot of this team is pretty guttural. So I'm glad you answered that way. That was impressive.
Yeah. And that's once I started getting comments, like I would get a couple when I first started it, there were a couple comments of like, why are you talking about this? It's not related to football. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I know there's dumb people out there, but like, do you know who Steve Tisch is? Like, I'm not talking about Robert Kraft or some like random, like Prince Andrew. Like, Steve Tisch is the co-owner of the Giants. He literally fired Brian Daboll. Like, what are you talking about? I have every reason to discuss this. And then I got a lot, most of the feedback was like, don't stop, keep talking about it. Like I had a couple videos about it go viral on TikTok and majority of the comments were like, get him girl. Like, don't stop talking about this. Like we cannot let this sit and just act like nothing is happening. So I have like a 7 or 8 part on TikTok where it's just me talking shit about Steve Tisch and reading fucking emails. And I went off on the Giants on my podcast today because I was like, I'm done. I don't know if you guys saw that fucking Paul Schwartz article that sent me over the edge. I was just like, I literally hate this organization right now, which is sad, but
I really felt bad for John Mara and all that, because with everything has going on, you think about this past year, the firings, the plane going over the Meadowlands, his health, the most important part. And then could you imagine the meeting he had to have with Tish after that? Like, you motherfucker, like with everything I got going on, I need this like a hole in the head, dude.
Right. My thing though is like they made it a whole thing that they brought in Chris Mara. So like let Chris Mara shield John and let him deal with it. You know what I mean? Like this is his job now, right? He's the successor. He's involved in all these meetings. He was the one who was working out the plane and going down to Baltimore and having all these meetings and stuff. Like let him deal with it,
No, absolutely.
Yeah, they're fucking not doing anything. They're not talking about this at all. It's like the dude's a fucking creep. I mean, you've talked about the emails, you've seen it. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson had the best response though. He was like,
yes.
All I wanted was a plane, man. That's all I wanted. I found out he was a creep. I got the fuck out of there. Like, nope.
One of my favorite like stupid sayings is "not today, Satan." And hearing that from Russ, I was just like, I can picture him with all his like, he's very into God and he's religious and whatever. And I can just see him being like, the devil is not getting to me today. Like, not today, Satan. And I was just like, I love you, Russ. Great answer.
Now, have any members of the Giants reached out to you at all? Like players, anything like that?
So I kind of. So a couple years ago, I did like a Q&A and I did like the sexy Dexy dance and I tagged Dexter and he liked it and said, great job or something. And then Burns follows me back and he's liked like a couple of my reels and stuff and the same on TikTok. And I got to meet Bobby O. So I met a couple of players at training camp. But then this year was really cool because Bobby O had followed me a while back and I would like occasionally DM and like his stories and stuff like that. But when his manager reached out to me and said, we're doing an event at Bobby's house. It's an auction. Do you want to come? And I was like, hell yeah, I do. So I went to that and it was back in October, and part of the whole night, the celebration, was the Giants announcing that he was their Walter Payton Man of the Year selection. So it was really, really cool to be a part of that. Like I got to see Bobby's reaction. His parents were there. It was a really, really sweet night. And I had the opportunity to interview him. And he is so great. And there's such a big conversation about, well, if the Giants just cut Bobby O, they can free up cap space and whatever. And I feel so conflicted about it because I've met him. He's an amazing person. Like he's such a great person in the locker room, a leader. Like there's nothing not to like about him. That I also think he's a great football player. And I think that the lack of good linebackers next to him, I think our god awful defensive coordinator, like I just think there were a lot of things that did not help him this past year. And I think what we saw in 2023 was like the real Bobby O. So, I think we saw a lot of good players when Wink was the DC, but that's a different story.
You got to be careful with some of those linebackers next to Bobby Okereke because the guy next to me likes some of them. You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Who, Darius Muasau?
No. I don't think anybody likes Darius Muasau.
Yeah, we kind of like McFadden, but he wasn't available this year, and that kind of I thought brought Bobby O's play down a little bit, as where he still had phenomenal numbers, but people, oh yeah, he's slow, but he's a run stuffer. He's not a pass coverage guy. I mean, McFadden was more the blitzer, and they didn't have that this year. And I think the guys that constantly paired him next to were just god awful. And it's really unfortunate. But I love how you bring up Bobby O. I do think he's also a great person to be around. And who is one player you'd love to interview that you haven't gotten to yet?
This is tough. There's a lot. I would like to interview Neighbors. I got to see him up close. I was lucky and I got sideline passes from a friend for the season opener in Washington. And I was standing right next to his mom and he came right over. And I didn't realize how tall he was. Like I knew he was, but to see him up close, I was like, damn, he's pretty tall. But I would love to have a one-on-one conversation with neighbors. Like, I will sign an NDA. It doesn't have to be recorded. I want him to tell me the real scoop about Brian Dable and like what the whole situation was there, because he repeatedly said it's not the quarterback. He's kind of like made some comments and some faces about things. And I just would really like him to spill the tea on everything. And I think he would, as long as like nothing was recorded and stuff and like things never got out of it. But I also love watches and I love like fashion, and he's also really into that. So I think he would be a fun interview from that perspective too. Like, I think we would just have a lot to talk about even outside of football.
So you mentioned interviewing him, but not necessarily online. Have you ever rage posted and then deleted something like, oh fuck, I should have never said that?
No, because I that is the one thing that I'm careful about. Like, I'll let loose on the podcast. Sometimes I like when I do the podcast, I'm like, no one's going to watch this. So I just say whatever I want. And then afterwards, I've kind of been like, maybe I shouldn't have said that, but not enough for me to take it down. Like, I stand by it. I'm just like, that probably could have not been said into public. But I'm usually good about social. Like, when I do reels and stuff like that, sometimes on TikTok, I'll kind of just say whatever. But usually, like, I like to make the videos that I do to be more like informational for the most part. So I try to make them not me just like saying like the first things. I do that on stories though sometimes. So it just depends, but not anything that I've been like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that.
So transitioning into the current state, excuse me. How does this rebuild feel? Obviously it's in its infancy. We're looking for anything, right? As fans, like, we're just hoping and praying, and we just hope to God this comes to be something better than it was prior. What does this rebuild feel like to you currently?
The thing that I like the most about it is that I really feel like there's monumental change being made inside the organization. And that's something that obviously has not been done in a long time. And, I think a lot of us have given ownership a lot of grief, rightfully so. But I will give John Mara credit for finally saying, like, obviously what I have been doing is not working, and I am willing to hand over the key to John Harbaugh, and I'm willing to make changes and get rid of Kevin Abrams and demote Ronnie Barnes and do, whatever it takes to finally get this team back to respectable. So, I wish it didn't take like 4 days for that to fully happen, but it doesn't matter. It worked out. They signed the contract. He's the head coach. It's fine. So to me, that I think is the most important thing to come out of this whole like rebuild, if you will, because this is something that so many of us have not seen in our Giants fandom, where there's been this type of change inside the building. Like, when I saw that alert about Kevin Abrams, I was like, there is no way that this is legit. Like, I really just couldn't believe it, especially so soon after Harbaugh was fired. I was like, God damn, they really like let him do it. And thank God. But I'm excited about it. I like a lot of the changes that they made. To me, like, the coordinator hires weren't like the sexy hires, but I think they make sense. And I think ultimately, like, if you were someone who was really on board with Harbaugh because of the experience, because of the winning record, because of all of that, you have to at some point say, all right, I'm going to trust it and hope for the best, which is what we all did with Shane and Dable, right? You got to give them a year or two, see how things go. And if Matt Nagy and Denard Wilson suck that badly, then I think, we can all be like, okay, like, maybe we should, I don't know. Like, yeah, maybe we should be a little concerned about this, but until, my thing is, like, until they start winning or losing games, all of this is well and good, but it really doesn't matter unless they win.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. With that, we've had a lot of changes. Who's a player you'd like to see stick around out of all of this? There's a lot of talk. There's Wan'Dale Robinson, Kayvon Thibodeau's in the rumor mill, even Sexy Dexy. He's being talked about.
Yeah.
Who would you like to see stick around?
I'm really ride or die for Jermaine Illuminor. I just think that we finally got this offensive line to function. You've got a quarterback going into year 2. He's learning a new system. Neighbors and Scat are coming back from injury. Like, if you do not re-sign Illuminor, and same thing with GVR, what are you doing on the right side of the offensive line? We've got a new coach. I'm starting to have nightmares about the offensive line again, and I can't deal with it. Like, we had one good year. I'm like, can we just extend this for more than 1 year? And I know there's a lot of questions of like, well, we don't know if Jermaine Illuminor fits the blocking scheme and this and that, whatever. And ultimately, if they decide to go in a different direction at the tackle position, I get it. I'm sure it's because they're going for a certain scheme or whatever. Or, if he's dying to reunite with Brasillo and there's nothing that they can do about it, then so be it. But if it comes down to money, like if that's what we find out the reason is why he doesn't sign, I'm going to be really upset about that. So I'm just like, if he wants to stay, figure it out. Like, just do it.
I was shocked they got rid of Carm, to be honest with you. That really blew my mind out of all of this, because it's not like he's a guy that's going to, demand a lot of money, I would think. But that really shocked me, because he kind of spun that line around, I mean, in my opinion.
Big time. I mean, I had people being like, why do you care about Carmen Brasillo? The offensive line sucks. And I'm like, okay, I don't like to argue with people on the internet, but when you're spewing false news, I am going to argue with you because you're fucking wrong. So then I had to make a whole video of like all of the reasons why the offensive line was better under Carmen Brasillo. And I'm like, look, at the end of the day, if he said to John Harbaugh, I think you're a great coach, I just want to follow Dable because that's what I want to do, then so be it. There's nothing that we could do about it. You can't hold him hostage and force him to stay. But if it was Harbaugh who was the one who was like sayonara, like what the fuck are you doing? I mean, again, I know you got to trust some of his decisions here and there, but he has not dealt with this offensive line for the last decade like the rest of us. And again, we don't make decisions. It doesn't really matter what we think, but I'm just like, I mean, anyone who's watched the Giants repeatedly knows how bad the offensive line was, that I'm just like, you can't just let him walk out for nothing. I don't like it.
I agree. I think we're all big Carmen Brasillo advocates here on the show. Hopefully Mike Bloomgren, he has huge shoes to fill in. Yes. Nothing against him at all, but that's not going to be an easy job. That's for darn sure. Now, speaking of like coaches, let's go over to players. If you had to defend one Giant that fans, in your opinion, trash too much, who would that be?
Oh,
that's a good question.
A good question. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I did have to defend Jermaine Illuminor a lot because people were like, he had the most amount of false starts. I'm like, he was tied, first of all. Get it right. Like, if you're going to say that. And second of all, he also was top 10 in the NFL in pass block win rate as a tackle. So like, he's not perfect. He said he would work on the false starts. It's fine. But who else have I really defended a lot? Maybe Cordell Flott. Like, I've been a big Cordell Flott fan, and he's a guy that I really would like to see them re-sign. I think we have so many issues at the cornerback position that I think that they're in a good position to re-sign him. He's coming off the best year. They have a new great defensive backs coach coming in. They have Denard Wilson, who has experience as a DB coach. Like, I have high expectations for this secondary and them turning it around this year because of all the coaches that they brought in. And I think when you have Cordell Flott, who's like 24, he's a baby. He's going to be entering his prime. He's coming off his best year. He's got better coaching, better scheme. Like, he's only going to get better. That I really would like him to stick around too. And I feel like I've defended him quite a bit.
So who was one player you were completely wrong about? Like, in your head, you thought they were going to be one way, and then they ended up making you.
Okay. Tyler Nubin. I liked the pick at the time. I did feel like it was early, but listen, I was listening to Nick Saban, who's like, he's the best safety in the draft. The Giants did a great job with this one. I'm like, amazing. And I thought that he was going to lead. I had predicted going into this season that he was going to lead the secondary with the most amount of interceptions. And that was obviously way far off.
Yeah, he fell back a little bit, honestly. He looked better as a rookie year to me. But again, this defense, I don't think that defense really recovered from the whole Wink Martindale, Brian Dable clusterfuck, whatever happened there. Even as much as having the 24 on the clipboard, and then being out of there 24 hours later. I thought that was genius. I was kind of a Wink Martindale fan in that. No, I'm being serious, Tom. That defense, you got to think they were hard hitting, they were crashing, they were blitzing,
They were.
they were playing with a lot of fun. Thibodeau looked way better. Certain guys just responded to that.
Bobby O too.
Bobby O had a great season. Yeah, they were fun. Lots of turnovers.
Banks looked better. I could just name basically everybody looked better under that defense. Yeah. And then when we went to that other disaster, that safe zone bullshit, whatever that was, I think guys just kind of got sick of it, and they're like, I don't even know what to fucking do anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought we looked pretty great. So with that being said, if you were given power for the day, if you were the owner, what's the first change you would make?
Oh my God, I have a laundry list of things. Number one, I would force Steve Tisch out. And I know that I can't really do that as the owner, but I would try. I would call the NFL Roger Goodell and be like, you better open that fucking investigation right now, you lazy ass. No, I would bring in Christian Wilkins. This is my new thing. I'm like really riding for the Christian Wilkins train. I think when it comes to free agency, there are a lot of guys that I want to see them re-sign, and I am hopeful that they will. But we have been atrocious at stopping the run. And I don't care what type of system you run, you have to be able to stop the run on defense. And I just think that Dexter Lawrence with Christian Wilkins and then Brian Burns and Abdul Carter, like no one is stopping us. And I did say that last year, but like Christian Wilkins is actually an elite run defender. And I really like Abdul Carter. He's another guy that I defended tooth and nail this year. I really just think like he would make an immediate difference to this defense. I don't think he's going to command a lot of money. So I think he'd be a great fit here. Him and Dexter Lawrence are best buds from college. I would love it.
No. Is Kayvon Thibodeau, is he in part of your scheme? Is he on your
it depends on what I could get from him. If I could get a second round pick or better for 2025, I'm trading him because I like Kayvon. I think he's a good football player, but I think the reality is the Giants are not going to pay him. And you cannot have another Saquon situation under Joe Schoen. I give him a lot of shit because I'm not so certain that he's learned from his mistakes, even though he repeatedly tells us that he does. If you don't trade Kayvon and then end up letting him walk in free agency, you have not learned a goddamn thing in the 4 years since you've been GM. So I just don't see them. I know Abdul Carter is going to be on a rookie contract, but like, are you really paying two edge rushers an assload of money? You're not, especially when you're paying Dexter Lawrence. I just don't see them doing that. So I think you have to think about trading him. It doesn't have to be right now. I think if you're going to trade him, ideally before the draft, so you get a better pick, but if he has a strong start to the season, if you can trade him before the deadline too, like Shane said, he got calls about him last year before the deadline. So if that happens again, I think you really have to strongly consider it.
Yeah, Leonard, absolutely.
Sorry.
Yeah, he cuts me off all the time. I'm used to it.
Well, you do that half in, half out thing. I don't know where you're going with it,
George, you didn't hear a fucking word. You were just ready to talk. We love each other. But with Kayvon Thibodeau, though, he's never healthy either. He's never on the field. So let's say we have a team right now that's going to make it to the playoffs. Is he even going to be there? Is he going to contribute?
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's my whole thing with Shane is like the lack of proactiveness that he has shown year after year is so infuriating. And like, I get it. If someone was offering him a 4th round pick, I also would have hung up the phone. But if he realistically was getting a 2nd round pick for Kayvon early on in the season, why are you not doing that? And his whole thing is like, and he said it again today, is, you can never have too many pass rushers. Okay, but like if you're not going to pay him, then trade him. Do something about it. So I think he loves pass rushers, but I just don't think he's going to sign Kayvon. So like maybe you love them, you just don't love him, which is fine, but then trade him.
So when we had Leonard Marshall on the show, I thought he had a pretty good take. You have Kayvon for one more year. Make him and Carter duke it out, and whoever wins and gets that starting role, and the other gets relinquished into whatever fits. You got to remember too, Carter in this year, he was kind of persona non grata for a while. He came on at the end, thank God, because I was starting to get sick of his shit too. But Kayvon does have injury problems, and without that, he can't even be on the field anyway.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Quick shout out here to Tudo tuning in. Appreciate you, Tommy and Adriana, our Italian paisanos.
That's right.
George, you have something to say about that?
No,
No? Okay.
only the good half.
Yes, absolutely. I think I'm up, right?
Yeah.
What we've kind of talked about takes, right? And Kayvon Thibodeau, I think that's a good take, whether you view it one way or the other. But what's one of the most delusional takes you see repeatedly that's out there that you're kind of just sick of seeing already?
I mean, I saw some people around like week 17 before we played the Raiders saying that we should trade Dart and take Mendoza. And even after that, with us still having the 5th pick, I have still seen people say that we should trade Dart. And that to me is like absolutely ludicrous. That is idiotic. I also am not really on board with signing Linderbaum, and I hope that he re-signs with the Ravens because I just don't think we are in any position to pay over $20 million for a center when we do not have a right guard and a right tackle starting March 9th. So those two things, I'm like, I don't think either one of those is a good idea.
So while we're on the free agency topic, putting it bluntly, who are we getting the fuck off this team? Who are we going to help pack their bags tomorrow? Get them on a flight, get them out of here. 2 or 3 players. Who has to go?
Okay, well, Evan Neal's already gone, so we probably don't have to worry about him. Okay, guys who are going to be free agents.
There's a few of them.
I don't think Wandale's re-signing. Like the people who are like the Giants are re-signing Wandale. I'm like, I don't know what universe you're living in, but it's not the same one as me. And I don't care that John Harbaugh said today that he values slot receivers. No one values a $20 million a year slot receiver. I'm sorry. Not when you're looking at this offense and you're looking at someone who you want to be versatile, who like with Malik Neighbors back, Wandale is not having 1,000 yards. He's just not. So he's the shortest, smallest wide receiver in the NFL with the smallest arms. Like, it's just not happening again. Let him go to the Titans and reunite with the rest of the Giants over there. Yeah. I think I like Wandale. I'm not like dying to see him go. I've already decided that he's not coming back. So it's fine. I'm over it. Who else? Jermaine Illuminor is one that I would be really upset about. Graham Gano, ciao. Sayonara, adios. Cut the contract. Thanks for all you did. It's enough. Goodbye. Adios. Another one, Joshua Zudu. Ciao.
Oh, he stinks.
He's going to be a free agent. Thank God. Get him off this goddamn team. It's enough. Not good.
I will say this, though. I think if they don't get another receiver to help Neighbors out in the draft or whatever they do, I think you're going to miss Wandale. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a Wandale guy. But if you're going to replace the number 2 spot with somebody other than Darius Slayton, I'm good with it. But if you're not, it's going to be a lot of pressure on Neighbors, and then you're going to be stuck with Slayton at that point because you can't really cut him. I mean, you can, but you're going to lose quite a bit of money on that contract.
Yeah, I think their plan is they're going to draft another wide receiver, and it's going to be those 2 guys plus Slayton, and then the rest of the guys who are like on the practice squad, which I'm okay with. My thing is like, I just think you can upgrade from Wandale, and I think their plan is to replace him. But I just think get a receiver who's over 6 feet tall, who can play the inside and the outside, like Malik Neighbors. Like the same thing with Odell Beckham. You could put Odell in the slot and he would take a slant to the house. Neighbors could absolutely do the same thing. So, I mean, I don't think Jalen Hyatt, I was really on board. This is another take that I was wrong about. I was really on board with Jalen Hyatt coming out of college. I was a big fan of his, and obviously that has not worked out. Now, I don't know. He's on a rookie contract, so they might just keep him and see what he can do and just put him on the practice squad every Sunday or make him inactive. But I just think, can't you put him in the slot and throw him like a 3-yard throw? Like I can catch a 3-yard pass. Like he has to be able to catch a 3-yard pass on a slant and be able to utilize that speed. It cannot be that hard for an NFL player to be able to do that. That I'm like, he's still going to be on the roster. I mean, I'm not advocating for him replacing Wandale. Got to have someone else there. But I'm like, you need someone who is capable, I think, of playing the inside and the outside. And I just think that Wandale's size limits him from doing that really well with Neighbors back.
But I have no doubt that Hyatt would fuck up a slant route too. He'd run that wrong. That's all he does.
No, he probably would.
So let's say we get rid of Wandell, which I think we're going to at this point. Like you said, 20 million is too much. Who do we draft in the first round? Is that a wide receiver?
No, well, I think if Caleb Downs is there, I think they're going Caleb Downs regardless. I also really like Sonny Styles, so I would be happy with either one of them. I really just feel strongly that they're going to go defense. Now, Joe Shane did say that just because Neighbors and Scat are coming back from injury, they should be good to go, that's not going to stop them from bringing in explosive playmakers. So maybe that means that Tate or Tyson is not off the table at 5, but I still think there's a lot of good options for them in the second round at 37. So I'm totally fine with them going defense there and then wide receiver later. Like, I think there's a ton of guys that they would have a lot of success with then, or even in later rounds. I mean, we'll probably never have the success that the Rams have, but like Puka Nacua was a 5th round pick. And yeah, he's probably an outlier, but the Giants also got Scattaboo in the 4th round. So yeah. I think there's good value in those middle rounds if you just know how to scout players right.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of Harbaugh's specialty too, right? He's for years been picking in late rounds, and he's done a pretty good job at it, where the Giants seem to fuck up every pick we get for the most part.
Yeah.
I think too with Denard Wilson, right? You're looking at a Caleb Downs potentially secondary guy who, people are, oh, well, we have 2 safeties, but are they good, right? I mean, Tyler Nubin, his, run defense angles as far as tackling ball carriers has not been great. Javon Holland, had an injury with Miami a couple of years ago, hasn't quite been the same player. So I don't know if I agree here with Cardinal Tate. He thinks we cannot waste the 5th pick with the safety and that we need to draft Tate. Don't agree with that, but I do respect the opinion. I don't see a world where we draft Cardinal Tate at number 5, because then you got 2 receivers on the same rookie contract, one just 2 years behind, and you can't pay 2. You can't turn into the Cincinnati Bengals, if you know what I'm saying.
And you still have Dart and Scattaboo.
Right.
So it's not even a matter of that. You're going to have 5 guys needing to be paid around 18 months apart.
Mm-hmm. And it's a problem. And I don't know if I want Joe Shane making all those calls on that in a condensed window, right? So, but this kind of segues into our next segment, Adrianna. I think, excellent job breaking everything down so far. We want to get into the female fan representation around not just the New York Giants, but, football as a whole. Did you ever feel like you had to, I know we had a comment about this before, which is why I'm asking, you ever feel like you had to prove that football, and why do some people still question women's football knowledge in 2026?
The only answer that I have to that is that they're misogynistic, because I'm like, if you just watched any of my videos, and I'm not saying that I'm right all the time, I just gave you guys examples of things that I've gotten wrong. Like, no one's perfect. Right. I'm not claiming to be like Adam Schefter, who always, seems to get everything right. But I have spent a lot of time researching the team and the coaches and the players, and I could probably name every single player on the roster. Like, I'm very invested and involved with the team, that I'm just like, if you watched any of my videos, number one, you would see that I'm not doing it to like get attention from men. Like, I'm married. I am like a typical man hater. Like, I'm not out here for the men. I'm out here for the women. Like, I want the women to be more involved in sports and like hang out with me and tailgate with me. And also, I just think it's better for football as a whole, like the more women that are involved. And I get comments from men being like, how do I find a single girl like you who like loves sports like you do? But the only thing is I just think that they're misogynistic, because I'm like, if you really watch my videos, like I did a video about Christian Wilkins, and I gave 3 different examples and reasons as to why he's a good fit for the Giants. I also talked about the locker room situation. I talked about the Raiders situation, the foot thing. Like, I'm not just saying things to say things. Like a lot of the stuff that I talk about too, like even when I was saying before about Instagram, like my videos are researched, and I come to talk to people like with a point. I'm not just like, oh, the Giants are going to go to the Super Bowl this year because they have Jackson Dart. Like, I don't just say things to say things. So I don't know. I'm just like, if anyone watched like more than one of my videos, or one of them, they would understand that like this, I'm not just making shit up, which like I could if I wanted to, but it's not helping me.
Jackson Dart throws the ball far. He's good.
Yeah,
That's it.
right.
I gotta say though, I love my wife, and she's a Giants fan, but she supports me basically, and I kind of like that she really doesn't know a lot about it, because it would just be one more thing to debate with her.
Yeah.
And I already have enough debates. I don't need to, we don't need to talk about route trees and all sorts of shit with her. But how do the female fans engage with you, whether at the game or at the events? Is it more like a look up to you? Is it like a maybe jealousy? How do they engage with you?
I haven't really dealt with any jealousy at all, which has been amazing. I think the most stuff that I've gotten is like, I love your content and I learn a lot from you. And that is like the best compliment that I could ever get. And I've had some women say like, my husband is so impressed with my Giants knowledge because of you. Or like, when we're at a game, I can point out certain players and stuff and I know who I'm talking about. So that's what I want. Like, I want fans, whether they're male or female, to be educated about the team. And, I know that not everyone is like as psychotic about the Giants as I am, but sometimes I feel like I get these, and like, there's no dumb questions, but sometimes I get some questions that I'm just like, wow,
Sure,
like,
yeah.
where did this come from? Like, please stop believing everything you read on the internet. Wesley Steinberg is not a real account. Like, then I know I'm going to have to put out my annual post of like, this is the time of year. Don't pay attention to what Wesley Steinberg or Pat Leonard have to say. But yeah, I just want people to walk away and feel like, oh, I learned something today. Know more about the Giants than I did yesterday.
I will say this: you seem to have a devoted following. We started getting messages, how excited they were that by female. I'm like, I didn't know females followed our page, but here we are, and they were all in support of you and how excited they were that you were coming on here. So I think that's really cool, and it speaks volumes of what you're doing.
That's awesome. I know I saw Lindsay in here before, but shout out to Lindsay. Her and
Yes.
I DM quite a bit too. And she's always in my lives and stuff. She's awesome and very supportive.
Yeah, she
There she is.
posted
There she
a couple
is.
comments for you. And yeah, that one too. Definitely agree with that.
The funny part about that is I'm an analytics guy. So
Okay.
every week I look at the Instagram analytics, and what are we, Nick? Like 99.97 male, and
Yeah, pretty much.
0.03. So the other day we're getting DMs from females that are just starting to like the page, and we're like, oh wow, we're actually going to move the needle with this. We might get up to 1 or 2%.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
we thank you for that.
Yes,
I'm happy to
absolutely.
help.
So we're going to play a little game here, nothing crazy. We're going to give you names. You're not going to know the names. You got to give a one-word answer. Anything that comes to mind about said player or personality or organization member, all right? I'm going to go first with my favorite player all time, Lawrence Taylor.
Lunatic.
Amani Toomer.
Ooh. Impressive.
Ahmad Bradshaw.
Beast.
Jeremy Shockey.
Tough.
Victor Cruz.
Salsa.
Pat Shermer.
Too nice.
Saquon.
Traitor.
Daniel Jones.
Oh.
Got him.
Smart guy.
I would have went with sucks, but
Ron No Gain Dane.
Oh, stud.
Odell.
Oh. Reunion.
Scattaboo.
Another psycho.
Eli Apple.
Bum.
Jeez. Strahan.
Oh man. Traitor. You can't wave the Eagles flag before the Super Bowl. I like
Yeah.
it.
It's true.
Mr. Eli Manning.
Hall of Famer.
Good answer.
Tiki Barber.
Underrated.
I get all the good ones. Steve Tisch.
jail.
Oh, fuck, I lost my spot here. Ben McAdoo.
Oh,
Great hair. Great hair.
I was gonna say bad hair. That's 2 words.
Evan Neal.
Lazy.
Jesus, I do get all the good ones. Darren Waller.
Bad rapper.
It might
That's
be
a
more
good
than
one.
one word.
Yeah.
John
Fail.
Mara.
How about that, Phil?
Mr. Mara. John Mara.
Remission, hopefully.
Mm.
Joe Shane.
Trying too hard. I know that's like a phrase, but we can hyphenate it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite victims on the podcast in a short time, Brian Dable.
Oh, overwhelmed.
And Mr. John Harbaugh.
Oh boy, high expectations.
High expectations.
Wow.
Very good. You survived the game. You were the test pilot, and it went okay. That was good.
Success.
Success.
The one word thing is tough with some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we practiced it beforehand, like just going over it, and George was answering, and he didn't give us one word answer.
Yeah, learn how to speak before you address me, please.
Yeah, get fucked. How's that sound?
Real nice. This is a
You
kid show.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah, my 6-year-old's watching right now.
We should have threw Mike Kafka in there for George, and then Nick just would have went Caillou.
Caillou.
You know what's
Jeez.
funny? If we would have did that meme of him like now when we had a little more of a following, it probably would have took off. We had a really great meme of Caillou in a coach's uniform. It looked just like Mike Kafka. And
That's
any
awesome.
parents out there know who Caillou is, the little annoying guy with no eyebrows.
I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize he didn't have eyebrows.
Oh, it's bad. Caillou is rough. I
He
missed with the last child, but the kids before were in love with Caillou, and it's just brutal.
I made it a point to not let my youngest watch it because all he does is whine. Caillou. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
So, go ahead, bud.
No, okay, I'll take it. So just a couple more, Adriana. Have you ever broken something during a Giants loss?
I have not. And I said this on a video that I made today because I was getting like the Paul Schwartz article just sent me over the edge. And I was like, I hate this fucking organization. Like they're worried about the optics of Joe Shane and they're not worried about the fact that they are supporting a pedophile. Like I can't. So, and I was just like, I don't want to hear from any of you in my comments telling me to take the emotion out of sports. Cause guess who's never punched a TV or a friend or broken anything during a sports game. So I don't want to hear it from you people.
You haven't lived.
Love it.
So here's
George?
another lighthearted question. What was your worst New York Giants jersey purchase?
Ooh, well, I bought a Saquon and a Jones one after they both re-signed. Those are probably the worst ones.
George,
That's
what's your
still-
worst?
My worst?
Yeah.
All my jerseys are stellar, buddy.
Russell
I
Wilson.
guess Tommy DeVito. It was a gift, but
Ooh.
I don't know. So you want to hear something funny, man? My poor wife. So Christmas game, Tommy DeVito. We all know what happened to Tommy Cutlets. He gets benched, right? The day before, my wife got me a Tommy DeVito jersey, and we're in the kitchen. I have the jersey on. I have the game on in the TV. I'm looking. We're sitting there cooking together, and we're making chicken parm, ironically. And my wife comes up to me. She goes, "What happened to DeVito?" I go, "What the hell are you talking about?" I turn around. Tyrod's in the game. I'm like, "I have no idea. He must have got hurt." So I think my dad was like, "No, they just benched him. They pulled him." My wife looked at me so mad that she just bought me this jersey. And literally on Christmas Day, she's like, "Oh, that jersey's worthless, blah, 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 blah." I was like, "No, I'll still wear it."
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a tough one.
Oh. So, how many times have you said, for as long as you've been a fan, that you're done with this team?
Every week. When I went to the season opener in 2020. Actually, I've been to the season opener the last 3 years, and I was at the Dallas Cowboys one. And that game, I don't think I've ever been so pissed off in my life that I went in with high expectations. I'm like, we're going to compete. We're coming off a playoff win, blah, 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 blah. And I left like in the beginning of the third quarter, and it was pouring rain, and it took me like an hour and a half to get home as I'm like driving through this rainstorm. And I was like, I hate this fucking team. I don't want to speak to anyone. I don't want to talk about this team. I am done with them. I hate them. That's a regular occurrence.
Love that.
Yeah.
2 final questions. Tell us what you have coming up in the future, any events, any plugs you'd like to make. What's going on in the life of Adrianna?
So I'm going to the draft in Pittsburgh, which I'm very excited about.
Nice.
So I'm really looking forward to that because, I have high expectations that it's going to go well. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. And then Giants wise, I'm excited about free agency. So I'm working on getting some guests on my show too, who I think will be fun just as we go through this process. And I want to get some draft experts on prior to that. But I feel like that's really it because I don't have any like fun Giants related events or anything. I am starting to get into F1. So I'm looking forward to the Grand Prix starting up, and I'm trying to figure out how I can weasel my way into going to one of those this year. So we'll see how that goes.
That's awesome.
Love it.
So,
George?
Final question. I know, Tom. Thank you. Final question. Very important question, near and dear to my heart. I'm a diner guy. I love diners. When I moved to upstate New York, the diners are kind of lackluster. What's your favorite New Jersey diner? I guess, or Connecticut. Whatever one you like. State Line.
State Line in Jersey is the best. They have the best honey mustard. I used to go there as a teenager. Like all of my friends would go there as soon as we could get our license. That was like the place to hang. And whenever I'm home, I'm always like, who's going to State Line? And one of my brothers loves it too. So, it's a great place. It's just like a classic diner. The menu's 50 pages long. They have everything, the dessert case when you walk in. Nothing better.
What's your go-to meal?
It depends. I usually like breakfast. I like pancakes or like a really good omelet with pancakes too. One of my faves. And everyone loves diner coffee. Got to have that with it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is this the one on
diners by you?
Yeah.
We have a couple by us that are pretty good. But you don't have a lot of diners in upstate New York. That's really unfortunate.
No, we have diners. They're not. We're starting to get a few of like the prototypical like Greek diner in New York City. There's a few of those that come up here, but it's never the same. It's kind of like the pizza places. It's good enough to get by, but it's never what it could be. You know what I mean?
It's like the bagels. Like the bagels in Connecticut are fine. At least the ones that I've had. And then I go to Jersey, and anyone who lives in Bergen County, if the B&G in Ramsey on Main Street is the best bagel place. It's so good. Every time I'm home, one of my brothers just had a baby, and I walked into B&G and I was like, oh my God, I fucking love this place. And I just left with like 15 bagels.
and then you just went home. You didn't even see the baby.
Yeah, right. I'm like in the back of the car, like taking some of the bagels out of the bag. Like I got to take these home to Connecticut with me.
That's great.
Wait, 3 you're talking about off of 303 by Tapan over there? Because I've been to the same one, the State Line Diner.
State Line is in Ramsey on Route 17.
Ramsey, okay.
North.
Heading towards the stadium.
Got it. Okay. Because there's one on 303 too. So they're like,
I wonder if
might be the same chain, same business, maybe.
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah, they're named the same thing, so they must be connected somehow. I'll have to find that out.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Now I'm going to Jersey on Sunday, and I'm going to be like, I got to make a pit stop at State Line.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Well, we just want to thank you, Adrianna. This has been great. Folks, make sure to go check her out on all of her social media. We'll have that scrolling across our ticker for just a minute there. all of her YouTube channels at Giants Latest, Empire State Sports Report, and the Giants Collective, where she's with the entertainer Bad Dog and Anthony Rivardo of Fireside Giants. Nick, George, any final comments here?
No, thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you here.
Yeah, no, thank you. It was a lot of
Thank
fun.
you guys.
You corrupted us. We typically don't swear, but you brought it out on us, and well, there's no looking back from here.
Tom normally,
Discharged.
Tom is the guy who's really unhinged, and he goes all over the rails. And me and Nick got to bring him back, and it's just a pain in the ass. So thank you. He finally took the back seat. Let us do our thing for once. It was actually a nice chat for sure.
Thank you so
guys.
much.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
How'd you like that, Tom?
I did like that because you took the meat and potatoes guy and made him seem to be like this crazy animal on air. So thank you, George.
You got it.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That was a good interview.
It was a very good interview. Very knowledgeable, very passionate. You could tell. Very, pissed off at the team like us.
Rightfully so. She knows
Rightfully
her stuff.
so.
And one of the best parts, I would wanted to get into it more if we had more time with her, but a lot of the people talking online, were basically saying she's paid by the team. You know what I mean? She gets hooked up. It's kind of like a paid influencer thing. And then once, her content shifted a little bit, I'm like, there's no way she's fucking paid by this team.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. No, she tells it how it is. It's a lot of fun. It's cool to see other people out there not afraid to just voice their opinions. Like there's guys out there who are sugarcoating everything. These guys are, they're on their way.
What, though? This team is so fucking bad. This team is so historically bad. Carl Banks, right? Employed by the team, partner with Papa. Have you seen any of Carl Banks' content in the offseason? Just the shit he's talking about the players and the this is pre-Harbaugh, obviously.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I saw this stuff. I saw the stuff with Dexter Lawrence, basically calling him out. And
dude, if you're getting Carl Banks to say shit like that, like the fan base is fed the fuck up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know what we're hoping for. 8 and 9 this year. That's a fucking winning season for us.
Yeah, but it's possible, and it all starts in about 2-3 weeks with free agency, right? This is where we start to find out how the 2026 New York Giants will formulate. And
this is when the pain begins.
Yeah.
We paid how much for who?
It's going to be a great time of year. The Knicks are going to fall apart. The Giants are going to fumble the draft, and the Yankees are going to be delusional into winning their World Series. So, any comments from the class, Tom?
Yeah, we got quite a few throughout the show. I know we pinned a couple throughout. John Unterweger, cousin from Oklahoma, great as always. Football season is around the corner. That's wishful thinking, but I definitely hope it goes by quick. Salute G family from Prime 0718. Appreciate you.
718 Queens 718.
Yes, the Queens time code. Shout out Lindsay. Commenting throughout the show. Giants fan _41. Appreciate you as well. Gustavo Silva. Thank you very much for your comments as well. Chiming in on Kayvon Thibodeau a little bit. A trade with the Bears would be great if we get Cole Kmet or DJ Moore in return.
I would go with Moore. Kmet kind of clouds up that room, I think. And that's all but good for Bellinger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Tudo, of course, with Tudo. George, you kind of shaded away on this year.
Yeah, well, I'm not fully in the club. I'm a little bit in the club.
I'm not fully in the club either. I'm only a little bit in the club too. Only 25%.
But I said only the good half. I was making the good fella reference.
Well, if you're half, I'm less than you. So, cheers. Yeah. Giants fan _41 needs to know that we start with a cheers at the beginning of every show.
That is the happiest Giants fan I've ever seen. That picture must have been taken in 2011.
Yeah.
Poor bastard.
Zareski, appreciate you. Lindsay saying that she loves Dart as well. She's definitely been one of our more consistent fans throughout the week. So thank you, Lindsay, for commenting. Yeah, we got a lot of good comments tonight. And then we got a couple through the lightning round as well. Number 5.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, maybe I'm delusional, or I mean, I'm often like I'm very rarely incorrect, right? We could agree on that. So
Sure.
I plead
I
the
love
fifth.
the two guys I love, Kayvon Thibodeau and Wandale Robinson. They get fucking murdered by everybody we bring on, and it almost shocks me.
Well, I mean, I think the thing with Wandale is he's a good player, but is he $20
Price
million
tag.
good? Yeah, it's 20 million, 20
They
to 21
paid
million.
Slayton 36.
I get that.
I got
They
you.
shouldn't have
but
done that
The
either.
dude averaged 700 yards a season.
I got you. It was a bad move, but
Wandale's
can't-
a safety valve guy. He's not. Yeah, I know. He's not going to run the 80
This
yards.
is this is my question. Do you want to have two receivers paid significant money with Malik Neighbors not being paid yet? I know it's unfortunate. It's not Wandale's fault.
I could almost make the same argument about Malik Neighbors as people make about Kayvon Thibodeau. Obviously, he had a great rookie season. What happened the second year?
11
can't stay on the
sacks.
field.
Well, no,
Oh.
he's
Oh, we're
out for
talking
a
about
year early,
Neighbors.
right? So the third year is kind of an unknown. It's not like we're taking a Mike Evans who's got 7, 8, 9, 10,000-yard years, and he got injured one year, and now we're just going to hope for him to be better again. It's an
You guys,
unknown.
I
No,
mean,
but
you
the
guys
thing is-
keep. Sorry,
The
Nick.
thing, no, it's fine. The thing is, if we go with Wandale, though, who the fuck's blocking for Dart? We gotta find money.
Price tag. I mean, you're gonna have to cut Bobby O, Runyon, Gano. I mean, Gano's gonna get cut anyway, but you're gonna have to cut guys who have significant price tags because Wandale is gonna cost 16 to 20 million in that category. Then you got to take care of Illuminor. Then you're not gonna be able to bring back McFadden, Flott, potentially. Like you kind of have to pick and choose here. But I will say, on Georgia's side of the argument, what Wandale has working for him, he was a second-round Joe Shane draft pick, and Joe Shane is still the GM of this team. And Wandale, other than the rookie year where he got hurt, and even then a little bit there too, he has produced. He's been one of the few players that have produced. So, and I understand, okay, that's fine. You know, a lot of drops for 20 million a year, sure. But Darius Slayton has twice as many, 3 times as many drops for a guy who's getting paid 13 million a year.
With probably half the looks.
Mm-hmm.
Wandale's targeted like a motherfucker.
Right. And he fits that dart short to intermediate passing game.
No, and don't get me wrong, I love Malik Neighbors, but he's kind of his own unicorn. He's going to be the guy. In my opinion, for that kind of team, you want Malik to draw the double, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to make his plays, and then you're going to confuse him with the second guy and the slot guy, and hopefully a tight end that doesn't have fucking bricks for hands.
Well, tell me if you agree with this. They re-signed Darius Slayton in the beginning of free agency last year because they knew they were going to sign Russell Wilson. And Russ and Darius, that connection was supposed to be great, right? Moonball. What is Slayton known to be? A deep threat because he has speed, right? And he could score those long distance touchdowns. Now that Russ is not coming back, you trade Slayton. That's how you get out of this here. You don't lose money if you trade him, but you have to find a trade partner.
But they're not going to knock down the door for him.
I mean, you might get a 6th or 7th round pick out of it. That's better than just cutting them next year, right?
I mean, I guess it depends on the depth chart. You're going to be strapped by what this coaching staff wants to do, obviously.
Let's take a look at what the Giants have right now after Malik Neighbors. Obviously, we know who the first two are, Wandale and Darius. Then you have Isaiah Hodgins, who's
I
also...
think he should get a contract.
Sure, agree with that.
He's not a lot of money.
Gunnar Olszewski.
He should get a contract.
Ryan Miller.
Who?
Ryan Miller.
Who cares? We're deep sea fishing after this, boys. I'm just saying.
That's where we're at. Bryce Ford Wheaton.
No. No.
George's face.
No.
I just like your answer. No. I'm not fucking doing it.
But this is my point, man. I'm telling you, Malik is the true blue number one. He's gonna do true blue number one shit. He also could turn into a fucking diva. You never know. That's my point. He's only gonna go into year 3. Wandale, the dude's got grit. He's got balls. He lowers his shoulder. He's a little dude. All of a sudden, people care about size. Like we didn't have small football players that were good at the game. I don't know if they never heard of Darren Sproles. I don't know.
Julian Edelman.
Julian
the list
Edelman,
goes on.
Kenny
I don't care about his size. I don't care about the only my thing is the money. It's too much. We have too many other positions to fill.
There ain't no fucking way that dude wants to go to Tennessee.
Can we all agree though that all right, Illuminor is the most important player to re-sign, because you don't want to go into the draft with a hole at right tackle. I think if you're a John Harbaugh coach team, you want to embrace competition, right? Illuminor is getting older anyway. You really don't think he'll take a 2-year deal for similar numbers, maybe a little more than what he got 2 years ago?
I don't think Illuminor has leverage in this situation, if that's what you're asking. I think he probably gets devalued if the Giants don't pick him up. I would almost guarantee that.
That's another thing, too. You got to address the kicker spot.
Better call Saul.
He deserves a shot, but you need to bring in somebody else to compete. I don't think they should just give it to Sauls by default. He deserves a chance.
I say we give Graham Gano another like $20, $30 million to just sit at home all season.
Listen, Graham Gano just has to go retire, put his paperwork in, collect that pension, get that fucking free health insurance for 5 years or whatever the fuck they give those guys, and just... You're injured as fuck. You're a great family guy. You're a good dude. Just, it's over, buddy. You know what I mean?
Well said, George. Well, you are the straw that stirs the drink, by the way.
That I am.
Yeah.
Tom, what do we got going on next week?
Well, we might be having another guest.
Might?
Well, we are, but we are just sorting out a time. We don't have an exact time yet, but Craig Santucci from New York Giants Rush is scheduled to join the show. Currently texting me, has no power at the moment, 2 feet of snow. Next week should work. So that's where we're at with him. But we will confirm a time for you on social media once we have it. But I've interviewed him once before. He's a very nice guy. They've also interviewed Leonard Marshall, along the likes of Giants players Micah McFadden, Justin Pugh, Dominic Hickson, among more. So it should definitely be a lot of fun to talk to Craig next week.
And then on the horizon, I'm not going to say who it is, but we have another 2-time Super Bowl champion.
We do.
This is where you go to Black Tom.
Yeah. All right. We'll leave you there on a cliffhanger, folks. On behalf of Nick Godin, George Bristol.
So we're doing this next week again, eh?
I guess so. Lucky number 7.
Me and Tom are.
Where am I going again?
I don't know.
First off, put me the fuck back over there. I want my insignia. Why are you blinking, Nick?
I was just being your eye.
Nick, you look like you're working at Abercrombie tomorrow or something. This whole getup you got.
George, you look like you work at a record store that nobody comes into.
I thought with the timing of that, it would be a nice time to quickly click George off the screen. That might be clip material in the future. So
one day I will possess the power to clip you guys, and then it's over.
Yeah, we're gonna have some trendy clips in a couple years.
Thank you, everybody.
Sure.
Thank you, everybody reaching out to us in the DMs, comments, likes. We appreciate it. This one's for you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Go Giants.